About a month ago, Josh Pieters released a documentary on Lily Phillips. This documentary follows Lily around leading up to and then on the day of her sleeping with 100 men. I've watched this documentary a total of about 3 times now, and I've watched it being watched by other people. I've watched a few different commentary videos on it, and there are a few points that I think have either just been overlooked or just not touched. And something that a lot of these videos have done, regardless of who's doing them, has been put a lot of the blame on Lily for what happens here, or body shaming her, or shaming her in some way for wanting to sleep with 100 people in one day. And I understand why I think people kind of get there, but I think it overlooks a lot of what else is happening. So I'm going to go through this documentary with you, and I'm going to try and point out some things that I haven't seen other people point out. Like anything else, like me really not liking the passport bro dude, I still said we're not going to talk about his mom who just died. If you're going to jump into the comments to talk about Lily being a whore, a slut, whatever you want to say, this is not the right video for you. There are plenty of other videos who have done that you can go and comment on that are just going to agree with you. This is not one of them.
I'm Lily Phillips, and today I'm getting ran through by 100 guys.
The world of adult entertainment is $1 billion business.
Is it a shoes off house, a shoes on house?
No, shoes on, honestly, I've got a dog, like, it's a total mess. Do you want a glass of water?
I would love a glass of water.
I mean,
even,
like...
could I have a tea? As a word, like, so is that the right, like, terminology? I'm a YouTuber, so I'm a bit red-faced and new to this world, but what is the, like...
People call me anything. Star, escort, OnlyFans girl, anything really, I don't really care. It's not like a bother to me. You know, I don't drink tea.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No, so this is probably going to taste like shit because I don't really know how to make it, but just good for one thing, me, honestly.
Having been involved in the world of YouTube content creation for 10 years, I've witnessed some extreme measures taken in order to achieve online fame, as well as taking some extreme measures of my own. But none quite as extreme as the stunt I came across which inspired this documentary. Lily Phillips, a 23-year-old OnlyFans star living in London who describes herself as an English was planning on hosting an event where she would sleep with 100 of her fans in a single day.
At 23, I feel like you could convince me to do something like this if it was going to make me the amount of money that she's making. For me, it's not at all about the amount of people that she's sleeping with or the fact that she's doing it for money on OnlyFans. That all seems like it's just none of my business, right? I'm not someone who's on OnlyFans or subscribed to anyone. I'm not someone who is one of these dudes signing up to sleep with her. And I'm not her. I'm not in charge of her body. And I don't have anything to do with her safety. But that's where my main concern actually is. How do you sleep with 100 people in one day and keep everything safe? Like later, we'll see bodyguards, right? In case the men get a little aggressive. Sure. But I mean, how do you sleep with 100 people and not get an STD? I can't see it.
How did you get into doing this for a career?
Well, I started when I was at university. Very, very tame stuff. Hand bras, underwear, things like that. Because I was at university, I was like, I'm being a anyway, could make a little bit of money.
What do you mean by you were being a anyway?
Like, I was just being a at university. Like, I was just sleeping around with everyone.
But I feel like I know of a lot of girls who have done that at university but then haven't gone on to become OnlyFans stars.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just was like already very, not proud, like very just okay with doing that. Like I've just always had quite like a sexual nature.
Yeah.
I just thought I might just make like a couple £100, can get a few rounds of drinks in, stuff like that, just helps me out a little bit while I'm at university.
Sure.
I didn't think it would turn into like my whole career. But I think as soon as I started on the platform, I kind of realised, I guess, how much money you can make and also just how much I loved it. I was just like, why am I doing a whole degree? Last week I was like 23 guys all at once, and like some people would be like, you're insane, like I would have to be paid to do that. And I'm like, no, that's just fun to me.
She goes on to explain, in college, she was sleeping around with a ton of people anyway. And so she said, why don't I just monetize this? She started off with things that were simple to her, like hand bras or just not fully nude pictures. And then that escalated. She started making a lot more money than she thought she was going to, and more money than she was probably going to with whatever major she went to college for. I think a lot of us have this idea that there's a few things we wouldn't do regardless of how much money you paid us to do it. But in the 8th grade, there was a kid named Dion, and I gotta stop saying people's real names, but I'm just not doing that today. There's a kid named Dion in my grade, and outside we all sat at this table, and on the table was a snail, and somebody said, "Hey Dion, I'll give you $1 to put that snail in your mouth." And Dion, without question, grabbed the snail and put it in his mouth. So I'm sure that there's a dollar amount that you would take. Maybe in theory, you're going to say no, and I'm going to say no as well. I don't think you could pay me enough to hit somebody with my car, but maybe I'm wrong. And if you like sex and you're in an industry where the people that you sleep with are also people who make this kind of content, who are safe, who are tested, who know what they're doing, and it's fun for both of you, and monetizing that is really, really lucrative, I get it. I do. Good for you.
Would you call yourself a businesswoman?
I don't know about that. People would give me a bit of stick if I said I was a businesswoman, but I guess definitely business-minded.
You have to consider her a businesswoman. Like 99% of what she does is running a business, and then she happens to make content for it. She spends more time running the business side of her OnlyFans site than she does making actual content for it. To not call her a businesswoman would be to deny that this is a business, and it is. I think it's just one of those things where like people with fragile egos will probably hear her call herself a business person and be like, "You're not a business person. My cousin's great uncle worked on Wall Street. They were a business person. They exploited the poor. You're selling your body."
I would call you a businesswoman.
Thanks. A lot more people would use the word just.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, I literally, I've never really cared what people think. It doesn't really bother me. I have such a supportive family and friends, and what they think about me is so much more important than what strangers think about me.
If your family and friends are supportive and you're safe in what you do, yeah, like you're going to waste your time caring about what strangers think about you on the internet. Just like the Passport Bro video where I was like, why are you putting all this on the internet? You should care about what your wife thinks. You should care about what your family thinks. You should not care about what a bunch of strangers think about you. That's all that is. If I took every dumb comment or criticism I got to heart, like it would suck. You can't care about what people who you wouldn't take advice from have to say when they are criticizing you.
Come on in. Hi.
Hey, I'm Josh.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So tall, isn't it?
Is you a PA?
Yes, yeah.
So how many people are there in Team Lily?
8, 9?
There's 9.
I don't know. Yeah, quite a.
I think we're on 9 now.
Yeah, 9 now. Yeah.
9 payrolled members of staff.
Yeah.
You are a businesswoman.
It takes a lot of money to have 9 employees. Good for her.
I've seen you say on podcasts and things before that your family and your parents are proud of you and what you've achieved.
Well, my parents knew straight from the start, like, about what I was doing. Yeah, I was just very open with it. Obviously, at the start, they were a bit apprehensive because they want me to be safe and
yeah,
they want me to make good decisions and stuff like that. I just think I can't hold myself back and do something that I'm scared what other people might think.
Your parents must be very sort of forward-thinking and open-minded, which is great, because I think if I told my parents that I was the UK's biggest cum, they probably they wouldn't like that.
I don't have parents, but if I was in the situation Lily was in, my parents would find a way to show back into my life or ask for money and to beat me one last time, just as like a little family tradition. Remember when we used to do this when you were a kid? And I'd cry for some reason. I'm an adult. Why am I crying now?
You show me the set.
No, of course, the set. Where the magic happens.
What's this?
I was trying to train my dog how to use it to like get attention needs.
Oh, so that's not for...
Josh sees a dog leash and is immediately like, oh, what's this? What do you use this for? You use this to get tied up. Oh no, what if I get stuck on this leash, Step Lil? And she's like, that's for my dog, dude.
No, it's not for like sexual purposes, don't you worry. Are you into any of that like kinky stuff?
Not massively, no judgment, but like I haven't done much kinky stuff.
No, I'll usually just like get my little camera, pop it on there. I mean, it's usually quite easy. And then it depends if we're doing like, we do talk through, if we want to do like a storyline.
Yeah.
Or just more of like a gonzo video.
What's a gonzo video?
Just normal, like just the actual part. I'd rather do it like this where I prop it up, or like have my assistant film it for me, because then you can usually get a bit better angles if like someone else is moving it.
And that's not like awkward, like having her film it or anything?
No, not at all. This is like my toy drawer.
Okay.
I'll get some out for you. You'll be shocked as to what goes up my ass.
I'm afraid that's just a cone.
It's a hefty thing. Go either hole.
No, it can't.
These are more like my toys. Before I do a shoot, I'll wear like a hook all day. This is more for like girl on girl thing. So what go.
There's no way. Not my business, but you could take an entire construction crew much easier than you can take this cone. There are easier ways to build a tunnel.
These are more like my toys. Before I do a shoot, I'll wear like a hook all day. This is more for like girl on girl stuff.
Yeah, it's got the double end.
This one's another like big kind of one.
Looks angry. Looks like Smog from The Hobbit.
Smog
is the dragon.
That's more like a toy, but it's quite cool because you can put that in and it's like see-through and you can obviously see inside your hole.
Which is obviously great.
These ones are always fun because they get like all types of bodily liquids like in there. Vibrators, very relatable. Normal kind of looking ones.
Right.
Strap on, tail, double toy stuff.
Oh, he's got a bum. Thank you for showing us.
No worries.
After showing me her eclectic collection, Lily invited me to join her for a stroll on the King's Road to find an outfit to wear for her upcoming big day of sleeping with 100 men.
What would be the demographic of guy that would recognize you normally?
I'd say more of a, it's going to sound mean, but more like a chubby, younger guy. And not ones that you'd find in Chelsea, I don't think.
Right. You're gonna have sex with 100 guys. Do you ever think about what it would be like if you ran into one of them in the streets after that had happened?
When I did 37 guys in a day, I genuinely can't remember any of their faces.
Right.
Well, maybe if I saw that then like I'd recognise them. But
yeah.
If I don't find someone attractive, I struggle to like look at them while I'm having sex with them.
But you don't struggle to have sex with them?
No. Before I had sex, I was never much for. I actually wanted to wait till marriage at one point.
There's so much going on here. The 37 men in one day thing, I didn't know about until I watched this video. And they talk about it so casually now that like, okay, because that seems like a lot. I think even if I was making the amount of money that she made for doing things like this, I don't think I'd be able to do 37 people in a day. Like that just feels, I would feel attacked. I'm assuming that they weren't like all at the same time, but I don't know if they were like multiple at once or if it was like what she's going to do now where it's like 100 people back to back to back to back. I guess the second one would make it a lot easier, but it's still a lot. She also says that like she wasn't very sexual until she had sex, and she thought for a long time that she wanted to wait until marriage. I think that's a very common thing with people who are young. You want like your first time to be special, and it should be, and I hope that it is or was. But after that, I think you think about it in a much less serious way than you were probably raised to believe it is. I'm pretty sex positive, so I think I kind of go with the route of like, if it's for fun, it's for fun. It can be just for fun, but you should be safe.
I just used to think it was a real special thing. As soon as I actually did it and had, I kind of realised that it wasn't special. And also that I just really loved it and really enjoyed it and that I wanted to do it way more often.
And do you think your partner one day will be someone from the industry most likely, or?
Yeah, I talk about this a lot with my parents because that's the one thing I guess they worry about is like, will you ever find a boyfriend?
Yeah.
But there's so many guys out in the world. I think, you know, one poor bastard's got to marry me. I rather think it's going to be someone from the industry or someone who is into lending me out.
Lending you out?
Yeah. Like into hot wife or being a...
It's such a big thing on Twitter. Like anytime any of these women are on Twitter, all the quote tweets or all the men in the replies go, no one's going to marry you, or imagine having kids and them seeing this in 20 years, or just stuff like that. But it's 2025, dude. We have so many examples of people who have been doing this since the 70s, 80s, and 90s who have families now. Some of them with people who are also in sex work, but also some people who just aren't. These are just regular people who happen to do sexual things for their job. I don't think it's that deep. If this is not someone you'd want to be with, don't be with them. But this is someone who, and we're going to see this soon, is going to get a lot of men specifically on Twitter going, oh, I would never be with someone like this. And then she opens a sign-up sheet to be with her, and it's flooded. There isn't a second of silence between her notifications. So I don't really trust what people say online anymore. I think you should say who it is that you are and then be that person. But also, if you're going to criticize people who are not really bad people, or criticize people instead of maybe their mistakes, then you should probably stay quiet on Twitter.
We're looking basically for an outfit for you to wear when you have sex with 100 guys in one day.
Yeah. These guys have all seen me online, like I can't turn up looking like a hag.
No.
I completely skipped over the part where she talks about being able to have sex with ugly men, but not being able to look at them. That's just wild to me. I'm lucky enough to be funny. And it's hard in videos like this where I'm trying to take in information and just have something to say about it, but I'm lucky enough to be funny, and that has gotten me a lot of attention from a lot of people that I've found very attractive throughout my life. So not a problem I've had, but that's wild to think that like, oh, I'm just going to sleep with this person and not look at them in the face. That's nuts. I guess that's just what it's like to be married to people like Elon or Mitch McConnell or Donald Trump, because you know that man sweats and it's just like sweating beads of orange paint onto you. Yeah, I don't like that. And his sweat tastes like Diet Coke.
That's quite nice. Then more of a push-up.
Yeah, I've left Lily to it. Are these men going to be appreciating the time, effort and dedication that has gone into this? It's not actually, but I'm filming a video with a girl who's going to be sleeping with 100 guys in one day, and she is picking out her outfit for that day.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
Does she find them on the internet?
Yes, so you can apply if you're a subscriber of her OnlyFans, so up to 100 people, and then the whole 100 of them get to have sex with her one at a time on the 19th of October in London.
Oh, and it's on television?
It's
That's
going
wild.
to be on her OnlyFans.
Oh, I see. Okay. She's got to have an early night tonight.
Yes, she does. A lot of electrolytes, a lot of sustenance, a lot of fiber.
Okay, lovely.
Okay. Have a
God
great
bless.
night. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye there.
He explains to two random women on the street what Lily's doing, and they're so nice about it. They're just like, wow, interesting. And it's going to be on television, which would be wild. Make sure she goes to bed early the night before, which is very sweet, which is kind of how I wish the rest of the internet would have taken this news.
She seemed kind of okay with that, which I wasn't expecting.
Is this one of them fake taxis?
I don't know what's a fake taxi.
You don't know what fake taxi is? Have you never seen like it on Hub? It's called fake taxi, and basically the taxi driver ends up like f***ing the passenger.
Really?
Maybe not something I'd say to a stranger, especially at their job, but okay.
Yeah. Search it all when you get home.
So far, is this a normal day in the life of Lily Phillips?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm gonna go home now. Do
Yeah.
some content and stuff like that. I'll show you how I go about just filming day to day.
How much does it cost for the video calls?
How much are they? Like 100 per minute.
Per minute?
300 for 5 minutes, and then
She
500
knows.
for 10 minutes.
Wow.
I think a taxi driver would know what fake taxi was.
Oh, he knows.
You're telling me you wouldn't stand there naked on FaceTime for 5 minutes for $300? Yeah, I'm doing it.
Lily agreed to show me the business side of her operation. OnlyFans might be what she enjoys, but it also provides a hefty paycheck.
I'll show you my first month. $13,338.
And can you give us like any indication as to what a more recent month might look like?
I'll just show you. I don't really want to say if that's okay.
I think it's more money than you might be imagining. And you made me pay for the cab. So you say you're going to do some work today. Like, how are you going to decide what to film this afternoon?
I usually am going to prioritize my customs.
Like they've paid for like a customized request?
Yeah, customized requests that maybe I say their name in it, or something that they're really into that I don't have already.
I'm so glad that I'm not interested in OnlyFans, and also that I don't have money, because I would pay these women to just like sit there and say something nice to me. It's like fully clothed. Don't even have to make eye contact. I'm not looking at you, and you just go, wow, Max, you're doing great. I go, thank you. One of them says they're proud of me, and I start crying.
What you're up to. Sometimes it's just general conversation, like sometimes guys just want to talk.
Have you like recognized any of the names in here of people that you might know?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's been some guys like outwardly say like we used to go to school together.
Wow.
Or some of like dad's friends and stuff like that.
What?
Tell me she's the problem. Tell me she's the problem, not her dad's friends.
Messaging you?
Yeah. I just tried to keep it very professional.
Your version of keeping it professional is sort of the opposite of everyone else's version of keeping it professional? Yeah. Have you ever received any scary message on here, that like something that frightened you or made you feel unsafe?
Some people's requests are sometimes way too much. Like I had literally last week, like, can you put a bag over your head and pretend to be like suffocated? It depends obviously on the request, but stuff like that I probably won't do. I don't want to encourage it. Like that, for me, I don't think that's doing helping.
What if someone offered you $1 million to do it?
I probably would bend my morals for that, yeah.
Yeah, me too. You've got spreadsheets. This is incredible. I can't believe you tried to tell me you weren't a businesswoman at one point. You've got a spreadsheet.
This guy's paid for a bottle of spit and a 6-minute video.
You did what, sorry?
I paid for like a bottle of spit, like just me like spitting into a bottle.
And is he going to receive that? Or?
Yeah, I'll send it in the post.
Lily invited us to observe the creation of a custom one of her subscribers had paid $300 for.
Listen, people have paid for spit. People have paid for bathwater. People have paid for time. People have been paid for nothing. Do you know how many people on the Twitter just like pay women to ignore them? We haven't gotten to any of like the big stuff. We're only 13 minutes into the video, and obviously there's going to be a lot more. But this is a good introduction into who she is and what she does. She's a very normal person who enjoys sex. A lot of people do. That's okay. She happens to also have it monetized. That's also okay. I don't think you should have an issue with her selling her spit or her time or videos. I think that later when we get into whether or not what she's doing is not only safe for her, but for the other people involved, then it becomes a bit of a problem. I care less about the other people. I care less about the people who have volunteered their bodies knowing exactly what they're getting into than her who goes, oh, I have a really good idea. And then you trust a bunch of strangers to keep you safe.
So the guy's asked for a off instruction and he wants it kind of a dog style. So a little bit more like me telling him what to do. And he's asked for me to wear a black bikini and some high heels. So I'm sure we've got one in here somewhere. I mean, this one's extremely skimpy, so I'm sure he'll like that.
Okay, well good luck.
Thank you.
All the best. Is it that you're going to get him to eat his own semen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Things I would not do for money.
You ready to be my pathetic little loser for the next 3 minutes?
Yeah, see, I can't do that. I have a lot of feelings. Don't be mean to me. This is who you're being mean to. You can't see her, but stop. Be nice to her.
To take it and eat it. Well done. Thanks for being my loser. Bye.
That was very interesting.
It's kind of fun. You're kind of like playing an acting role.
Yeah.
In a sense.
What Lily had shown us so far was fairly in keeping with most creators on OnlyFans. However, what she was planning to do in a couple of weeks' time had never been seen before.
Oh, yeah. See, you can't simultaneously criticize her for this and be like, oh, no man is going to want you. What if your kids see this? She's one person getting thousands of requests. If I have to be ashamed of someone in this scenario, it's going to be the thousands of men being like, oh, I would love to be one of 100 men in a day, rather than the woman who's like, I'm going to make a lot of money off this.
This is where the applications are coming through.
Where the guys are messaging. I had it switched off for a little bit, so it's just...
So how are you doing this? You put out a phone number
Yeah.
and people can just apply?
Yeah, so I put out a little Twitter post, and all you do always have to send in a photo of you holding your ID. So this guy's from Belgium. He is 32. Oh, he's from Barbados. Jesus. We're going global.
Is this just going to be completely random as to how you pick them?
Yeah. Like we said, we prioritize the ones who have STI checks.
So we'd prioritize the ones that have STI checks. Does not seem like the most confident way to make sure these people have been checked for STDs. And that's where this gets hard. You want to sleep with 100 people in a year? I don't care. You want to sleep with 100 people in a month? I don't care. You want to sleep with 100 people in a week? I don't care. You want to do it in a day? Again, none of my business. I'm not one of those people. I'm not you. You really do have to make sure that you're safe. And I don't know how to do that with 100 people, no matter what. Even if they all get STD checks when they apply, plenty of things can happen between the time that they apply and get to you. Also, I've never seen a single event where 100 people signed up to go and those same 100 people showed up. There's going to be alternates and they're not going to be checked.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm nervous for is like for them to have a good time. I want to make sure they enjoy themselves and don't come away from it like, oh, I feel disgusted or that wasn't fun. 2006.
Oh my God.
So
how does that make him? So
18.
40, 18.
18, yeah. I mean, he does look 18, doesn't he? Hey there, I know I'm late, but would love to you and lose my virginity.
He actually said lose my virginity. He needs to get his spelling fixed.
I figured a lot, if not most of the people responding to her would be people who are not receiving that kind of attention from the people around them. That makes sense, right? I can't have sex with women around me for whatever reason. So I'm going to go volunteer for someone who's just asking people to sleep with her. I don't think I would be okay with people coming up to me and being like, yo, this is how I'm losing my virginity. I don't think I'd be okay with people losing their virginity to me this way. We've talked about it already. For some people, that's a much bigger deal than others, and that's fine. Wherever you are on that spectrum, whether it's the most important thing to you growing up or you don't think about it at all, fine. None of my business. But that just seems like a bad time for everyone. I don't want to give someone the impression that this is what sex is or should be. And I still want to be involved in that, I guess. It feels a little gross to me. I'm 27. There shouldn't be a lot of reasons why the people that I'm sleeping with are virgins.
I think other people in the industry definitely look down on me for doing this, but I think at the end of the day, people forget that it's also my fantasy. And this is also something that I'm really enjoying and want to do and have wanted to do before I was even in the industry.
Our filming was interrupted briefly by a phone call from Lily's mother.
Again, not my business. If this is what you want to do, if you really just want to sleep with 100 people, I don't want to just sit here and criticize Lily, but we haven't gotten to the part where the men start showing up yet. Would it not have been entirely different for her to be like, I want to sleep with 100 men, get 100 men from the industry to sign up and run it that way? That way you know everyone's safe, everyone knows what they're doing, some of you already know each other. Does that not feel entirely different than 100 strangers who one of them, just one of them, has to have an STD?
Mum always call me every day. What have you been up to today? I'm just getting railed, what are you?
You've obviously spoken to your parents about this, right?
I actually haven't. My parents know what I do, but I'm not on the phone to them every day going, oh, I just got DP'd, 17 guys today, or this and that. They don't need to know the logistics.
Of course.
I do feel a little bit like embarrassed being like, Mom and Dad, I'm 100 guys.
Why?
I guess because it's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do. Doesn't mean to say my parents are like gonna disown me or hate me or anything like that. I just don't want them to think less of me, you know? Like we can still be like very close and stuff like that, but I just don't think they need to know like exactly every single detail.
Yeah. But they'll find out, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah. This is the thing, I think, with like my career and stuff like that, we're not sat here talking about, oh, I filmed this with brothers today, or I filmed this, because there's just no need. I remember my dad saying like, my friends talked about you, like seeing you on or something like that, and they know, but like there's just no point in being like, oh, I'm doing this or doing that. Yeah.
Are there days where you second guess it ever?
Not particularly. There are days where I'm sat here on a Sunday, I am feeling a little bit more lonely. My friends have all got boyfriends, and I'm like, you know, I see a comment and people are like, God, no one's ever gonna marry you or something like that. And that can definitely like make me feel a little bit like, oh God, have I chose the wrong career? But like, I just totally love my job. But just like people talking about your body constantly, how you look, every day someone like picking at you, I think that's the hard part. And also just the pure fact that people think so much less of you.
Yeah.
Before anyone ever meets you, they already perceive you to be something. I think now I'd find it hard to make friends in terms of like real friends that really just see me for who I am and not like, gosh, like porn star online, whatever, this kind of like persona.
Yeah.
Or also just like all of social media, like everyone is preying on your downfall. Banks don't allow you to bank with them. Your Instagram's trying to get shut down. Like, you know, it's just like the little things that's just like, no one likes what you do. And everyone just thinks less of you, basically.
What really sucks about this is that if you took away the sex work aspect, if you saw her spreadsheets, the way she manages her money, her business, all of that, her employees, it's super impressive. But then you reattach the fact that it's all through OnlyFans, and then people are like, oh, whatever, she's just oh no, no one's ever going to want to marry her. Oh, her parents are probably so ashamed. But she's so smart and capable, and here's her running an entire business with 9 employees, taking care of their spreadsheets, the money, all of the little details that have to go into it. It just happens to be that the business is her body. The loneliness thing is relatable. I think that goes for anyone who just makes content online alone. It's really easy to like spend all your time alone in a room. And even when like you do have friends and they want to spend time together, you want to work, or you have something you've been working on, or you're like, no, I'm going to do this, or no, I have to take notes for this. And it's just really easy to be alone. And then it's hard to tell who actually like wants to be your friend and who just wants to, for some reason, network through you. She very much has a job that she can't turn off, but she's someone who is probably going to get recognized more than general public and has to be available for like Twitter or OnlyFans messages, things that just like you don't get to clock out away from. The banking thing, I don't really get. Like the banks are just like, no, we don't want your OnlyFans money.
I see that you've kind of like taken on the word like and almost owned it in a way.
Yeah, 100%. I don't mind being called a I'm sleeping with 100 guys in a day. That is the definition of a surely.
Would you refer to yourself as a feminist?
Yeah. At the end of the day, doesn't feminists mean like you just want equal rights for boys and girls? And yeah, I do what I want and I do it because I enjoy it. I think there are obviously some women that maybe go into it because they have to or need the money and stuff like that, or they're kind of coached into it by men. But my personal experience is I've only ever felt empowered by the fact that I'm making money off something that I think guys will do anyway. Like guys are always going to sexualize me, so I may as well try and profit off that bit.
Something that she alludes to is how a lot of people's biggest criticism is with the industry itself, with the way that it abuses, targets, and manipulates young women. I think that is a much bigger conversation than I'm capable of having alone in this room. And I'm happy to have it. I just don't think this is a video to do it on. That is one positive of people running their own OnlyFans, right? Not like Jack Doherty, where he gets a bunch of 17-year-old girls drunk and then they sign up to be under his management and he just like takes all their OnlyFans money. That's weird. That's gross. Jack Doherty should be in prison. People running their own OnlyFans, having that sort of autonomy over their money, over their body, over what they do and when they do it. I think that's really good for the industry. And it's not just 4 or 5 websites where you don't know where these women come from or what they've been through or how much of the money they're getting.
I mean, not all guys are going to sexualize you.
I don't really know. I'm not, maybe not all guys, but
too many. If it's enough for her to make this much money, too many. And that's on the men not being able to just treat women like women.
Would. I mean, I'm like a part of the problem. It's so hard because like doing extreme stuff like this is not normal. Like, and I think then guys are probably going to expect girls to maybe be as as me and sleep with this many guys and take it up the ass or do stuff like that isn't real life sex. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around.
But you do enjoy doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people forget it is my fantasy and this is what I enjoy. And so it's hard because you're like being selfish, but you're also not helping the situation.
I left Lily's house with more questions than answers. I still couldn't understand why she felt the need to do what she was doing, and whether it was truly what she wanted to be doing. I thought it might be helpful to hear the perspective of another OnlyFans creator, so I reached out to Alex Letitia, also known as the Queen of Southampton.
So, now this is something I've wanted to know all day. Do I call you Alex or do I call you the Queen of Southampton?
Oh, either. No, you call me Alex. Basically, I went into OnlyFans because we were really, really broke. It was really last resort. I had never, ever sent anyone a nude prior to this ever in my life. So I was so naive going into it. I started off just doing bikini pictures and lingerie, but it is a slippery slope. And the demand is more. Before you know it, you're having sex on camera.
And is that something you regret?
There's a lot I regret on there.
Do you feel scared that you might ever have to start doing things you don't want to do in order to keep that money coming in?
It is scary, yeah, because people are starting to do the most outrageous things online. I've seen so much of it lately, and I think my daughter's already getting stick for what I do. And like I said, I don't really do anything controversial compared to all these other girls. And it just keeps being like leveled up and up and up of the expectations.
Well, on Saturday, I'm going to another OnlyFans creator, Lily Phillips, is planning to sleep with 100 men in a single day for OnlyFans content. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's really sad. I just worry about her mental health. I'm hoping it's a hoax and it's not gonna actually happen. I don't know. From what I've seen of her, I think she's like young and beautiful. I don't think she has to sleep with 100 guys in one day for attention. I don't know. It's like medically, is she going to be in a lot of pain? Mentally, you're going to be known as the girl that shot 100 guys in one day. And I think that's really sad. The problem is that when you sign up to objectifying yourself, it's like you're signing a deal with the devil. Like no one is going to see you as a human being. It gets to the point where everyone objectifies you. That's the reality of it. You're like the cash cow.
Do you think the kind of thing Lily's doing this weekend is the future of OnlyFans?
I think when people tell you why they're doing something or why they want to do something, you should believe them first and diagnose them later. So if Lily is saying, I want to do this because it's actually something I want to do, I'm also in a position to where I can monetize it. Okay. I'm going to believe that Lily wants to sleep with 100 people. It's a lot of people, and there are plenty of other complications that come along with it. But I'm going to believe her when she says she wants to do it. And I'm not going to say that it's for attention, because this person's right. She's young, she's beautiful, she's capable of getting so much attention on the internet for much less risky things. I think if she wanted internet attention, she could get it pretty easily without sleeping with 100 people in a day. And so I don't think that's why this is. And there's going to be a lot of this. There's going to be a lot of I don't think from me, from the comments, from other videos, from people who have watched this. And we don't know. We don't know. I have no idea why Lily's doing any of this. All I have are my own thoughts. And it comes at the end where she's crying, and everyone on Twitter, on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere that clip has been posted, every single person is like, that's why she's crying. This is why she's crying. She's crying because. And every person has one of like 8 theories, and we don't know. I'll tell you what I think when we get there, but I don't know. I don't know how she feels in the moment. I don't know if it was cathartic. I don't know if it was regretful. I really don't think any of us do.
Do you think the kind of thing Lily's doing this weekend is the future of OnlyFans?
I hope it isn't, but we keep seeing so many sort of outrageous stunts. Maybe people assume they have to do that in order to get attention and followers.
Also, she brought up how she doesn't want people to take things too far, so that she also doesn't have to do them for attention and for followers and for money. I don't think you should have to. I don't think you're going to. I don't think Mark Rober has to start making Mr. Beast style videos to get the amount of attention that he does. He's not going to get 500 million views every 2 weeks, but he's still going to get more than enough attention to make the money that he needs to make. I think the consumer base is big enough to where you don't have to worry about what the top 0.00001% are doing.
So it is just going to have to get more outrageous, which is quite scary if you think about it. Oh, I'm just worried about the smell for you.
The smell?
Yeah, I feel like the smell will be bad.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Bye.
Bye. The whole thing, I think I'm realizing, is actually more mental than we originally thought. There are 100 men turning up to have sex with her for 5 minutes each in a single day. I mean, there's a decent chance that one of them is going to be dangerous. One of them might have a weapon, have a criminal record. A few of them will have STIs. I can just on a basic statistic, you can know that a few of them are going to have STIs. So let's just hope those condoms are good ones.
I had a sinking feeling that perhaps Lily hadn't fully thought through the challenge she was undertaking.
How are we looking? We're 1 week away.
I think we've got about 50% of them confirmed.
And then you're checking that they've done an STI test?
How long did this video come out to anyway? Like the video of her sleeping with 100 people, is that like an 8-hour long video?
Yeah, so prioritizing guys who have STI tests. They have to screenshot the results kind of thing. But this is the thing with it, like you can never 100% know if they've had an STI test. And even if they had, they could have slept with 10 girls in between the test and things like that. It's more just like, you know what you're getting involved in if you're willing to participate.
Are you going to kiss any of the guys?
Definitely. I feel like some of them would be a bit put off, especially when they know I've just had like 57 guys inside me or whatever.
Why do you think that would put them off?
I think it's more if someone's to my face. I can imagine that's what's put another guy off.
So you would let like these guys do that on your face?
Yeah.
And in your mouth?
Yeah.
What if they had HIV?
Is that where it comes from? With spunk in the mouth?
It can.
Oh, really? See, I've never really thought about that. Last time when I did it, all of them could in their mouths.
Yeah, that's really my only massive issue with this is specifically her being safe. I understand that it's like her event. She's putting this on. She's inviting these people. But she's giving up personal responsibility to a bunch of strangers. And you're going to see coming up that these are not people who want to be on camera, who want any sort of attention. They're people who, if they have an STD, might be too shy to go get tested, which is weird. If I shook 100 people's hands, I'm going to assume that like 50 of them are not washed. I can't imagine letting 100 people put their sweaty, disgusting bodies on me.
I can't really explain it. I get like serotonin, like from when people are like, oh my God, you're that on the internet. Sounds crazy.
I know, and I know you're saying that to me right here, but I don't believe that.
Really?
No.
I kind of love like ruffling feathers a little bit and people getting a bit like agitated by maybe the fact that I'm a slut. People think I'm like so sad and stuff like that, but that could not be like further from the truth. I don't think people realise like how happy this makes me. But I just think it's so funny and fun. I can't really put it into words.
Have you done anything to make sure there's not someone with a criminal record, for example, coming down?
We actually have not, no.
Do you feel safe?
Yeah. I mean, pretty sure I could take on some 50-year-old guy. No, I think it'll be fine. I'd like to think that guys aren't there to, I don't know what they would do anyway.
It is London, like you've put out a public call, so technically anyone could come down as long as they were over the age of 18.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd like to think someone won't go to that effort to put in their ID, drive there, you know. It's quite a big process for someone just to, I don't know, do something like that, maybe. I'm not really sure.
I had a sinking feeling that perhaps Lily hadn't fully thought through the challenge she was undertaking, but maybe I was wrong and everything was under control.
This is aside from the point. There's a streamer I watch called Pasta Coma. She's also a YouTuber. She's very, very funny. The other day she made mac and cheese and she gave her dog some off of her spoon. She takes a spoon, wipes it down, and then keeps eating with it. I love toast. I love toast so much. No. If I give toast food, it is out of my hand, and then I'm not eating with that hand. I'm not putting a spoon in her mouth and then putting it in my mouth. That's wild.
After all, Lily and her team seemed very relaxed about her mission. So relaxed that she squeezed in another job the night before, in Newcastle.
Hi, I'm going to be at Vinkers at Newcastle Racecourse this Friday, the 18th of October. I'm super excited. Apparently there's meant to be over 6,000 university students. It's the biggest uni event in Newcastle, so I can't wait.
It is the night before Lily's big day. These girls don't seem very prepared. They're currently on their way to Newcastle, and then they're going to be coming back late tonight, and then Lily's going to sleep with 100 guys tomorrow morning, which seems mental to me. It doesn't seem like things are going great. There are a lot of guys cancelling. They're scrambling now to find people at the last minute. I don't understand how the guys they're scrambling to find at the last minute are going to get STI checks in time. I feel a bit nervous going to this random Airbnb tomorrow for Lily to pull off the stunt, so I can't actually imagine how Lily must be feeling.
I might make an entire separate video on the Lily Phillips Airbnb thing, where the Airbnb owners found out about this video. I think if I were in this situation, I would also have done something the night before. Otherwise, I'd just stay up thinking about this all day and I would not get any sleep. So I get that.
It's Lily's big day. It's raining. Never woken up so early to film sex. I've never filmed sex, but you know what I mean. This is where it's happening. I don't know where Lily and the gang are. Doesn't seem like anyone's actually here yet. One thing I can say is hidden in plain sight. It's not exactly where you'd expect someone to be having sex with 100 guys.
Where would you expect this to happen? Like outside of a train station?
It's 8:35. They were meant to be here at 8 a.m. They're nowhere to be seen. Do you guys want to get some cover?
Just as we were starting to think the Queen of Southampton was right, and this was all a hoax, the first man arrived.
Hey, guess I'm here for the thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a bit early.
I'm Josh, by the way.
Oh,
Hey, nice to meet you.
I never really think about things before I do them, so I've just kind of do them and then think, oh, you know, was that okay?
You're telling me you trust the guy who says, I don't really think about things before I do them to get an STD test.
We received a text from Lily's team asking us to not draw attention to the rented Airbnb where the stunt was set to take place.
She's asked us to not be around the property so we don't draw attention to it.
So I asked lucky participant number 1 if he wanted to go for a stroll while we waited for Team Lily to arrive.
So you're obviously a subscriber of Lily's on OnlyFans?
I'm going to be honest with you, it was only when she said.
So you got a text, but they sent the address quite late, didn't they?
Yeah, just this morning. Funny, like on the text it was like, you know, if you have any friends who'd like to take part, and I was like, oh, it's one of my motivations for coming here.
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
Am I gonna get mugged? It's on the Circle line.
Yeah.
I go to V&A after.
Finally, Lily arrived.
Hello. Lovely to meet you. Lucky number 1.
An hour behind schedule with a security guard on the door, we were allowed inside.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, how you doing? Fair enough.
Everyone get naked now. Let's get going.
It's a lovely house. I like that big mirror.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put myself. I feel like just float. Everyone's just floating.
Everyone that is a performer today just gets on the couch so we can...
The atmosphere inside was nervous and very strange.
Lots of bananas.
No one, including Lily's team of assistants, seemed to have much of a plan in place for the day.
I don't know what's going on. No, there's a lot of forms this time. The admin side of things is crazy.
Having had their IDs checked and release forms signed in order to allow publication on OnlyFans, 6 men sat anxiously on a sofa, waiting for their turn to have sex with Lily. Meanwhile, it seemed the reality of what Lily was undertaking was starting to become slightly more real.
Hello.
Hello, how are you feeling?
Nervous, no, excited. It's nice to actually meet the boys because it puts you at ease a bit.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. Is it
And you're not getting.
How are you feeling?
No, I'm a little bit nervous. But
Okay.
I'm excited.
Just putting a baby monitor in here so I can keep an
Oh, that's
eye
smart.
on you.
Yeah. Have you had like an energy drink?
Yeah, I had a squash pastry in the car.
Okay.
So
And
we fueled up.
lunch or anything? What do you think?
I think I'm gonna have a break. I think it gets to about 12 and have a little
Okay.
Breeze.
Yeah, that's good. Are the guys going to shower? Or
No.
that just comes straight in? And the condoms?
Yeah, they're in my bag. I've bought like 200 of them.
Yeah, that's good. Just in case because of my break.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like, do we think we're going to get to 100 today?
Yeah, I'm not leaving without it.
Yeah, I came last night, yeah. I came to you last night after work.
Oh, guys, we are running behind.
I got in at 6 o'clock this morning.
Oh my god. I'm excited just to get the first one in.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you just like want it to start. It's like
Doing
a race, like you just want it to start.
It's early in the morning to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
And 5 minutes each, right?
5 minutes each. Probably might do a little bit less time. I think there's about 8 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't wanna keep them waiting too long.
Fine. Yeah. Just all the best.
Thank you. Kill it.
It's all just still so wild to me.
Yeah, careful. Kill it. Lots of fluids.
Thank you.
Like, for her, this is work. For her, this is work. For her, she's clocked in. But imagine being one of the guys sitting on the couch right now, just like looking at each other. I'm awkward in situations where I have to be like around other people doing small talk. Like, I'm going to get everyone to put their hands in and go, all right, filling up Phillips on 3. 1, 2, 3, filling up Phillips. It would be so awkward, dude. Where do I put my other hand?
Do you mind not filming the guys? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Just as proceedings were about to commence, we were asked to leave. It was hard not to feel concern for Lily as we left the house. She seemed more apprehensive about what she was doing than she had done over the past few weeks. Perhaps the reality of the situation was beginning to dawn on her. It certainly was for me. It was just weird. Like, that's all I can describe it as. It's just so weird. Like, Lily seemed a bit more nervous than she seemed throughout this, but still, like, kind of up for it. I just cannot believe in the middle of this, like, super affluent suburb, this girl is about to just have a load of strangers, 100 strangers, in someone's Airbnb. One of the men participating agreed to speak with us after having spent his allotted 5 minutes with Lily. He had flown in from Switzerland just for this.
So I came last night and I'm leaving basically after. I went for the authentic experience.
Okay.
I had pie.
Pie,
Yeah,
British
in the
pie,
pub,
pie and mash. How long have you known or been a fan of Lily Phillips?
Since the beginning, I would say.
Did you ever think you'd be able to have sex with her?
No, never.
And today you did?
Yes.
Were you nervous this morning going in there?
Yes, especially when I saw all the guys, the cute.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was definitely nervous.
Were you worried that maybe some of the other guys aren't going to get an STI check? Or?
A little bit, but also I think the risk for the guys is maybe less high than for her. This gonna has to be the most expensive shag ever.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
200 to get tested, 250 for the flight, maybe 800.
800 pounds, and worth it?
Yes, yes, without a doubt.
How are you doing? How's it going so far? How many are we on?
I think only 8.
Originally, we had been told we'd be allowed back to film with Lily while she had a break for lunch at 2 p.m. However, we received a text from her PA explaining that they were overrunning and they were going to have to skip lunch. Sorry, it's Chocker, and anytime she gets a break, it's for a quick shower and eat, and then back to working, so no time to be filming during her breaks. However, we were able to speak to another man as he left the Airbnb, although he seemed shaken by the experience.
So this is one of the things that I want to talk about, because a lot of people, when they get to this point in the video, they go, oh, look, he's shaking. Look what Lily has made these guys do. But brother, this is a choice that you made completely on your own. to fly here, to go through with the experience, to sign up for it in the first place, and now you're shaking. I understand that, like, no, I don't understand. I don't get this being a traumatic experience on your end. Like, if she came out shaking, I'd get that. But you're not skydiving. You're probably not facing a fear. Like, this is such a long process. Imagine Izzo. Imagine he's like afraid of women. He's like, I've never even talked to a girl. And this is his first time.
How are you feeling?
It's not something I'd normally do, but I saw it. I thought, not much wrong.
Yeah.
I think I saw it and I just thought, fucking might as well just do it.
And like, how long did you get with her?
She said 5 minutes, and then halfway through, she said she hadn't started the timer, so she said like 5 minutes from now. Which is all right.
So you got some extra?
Yeah, just an extra time.
Do you know how many guys have gone before you?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, like, is that one?
Well, yeah, but I don't really know. You know, I just thought.
Are you happy you did it?
A little bit. I'm just a bit nervous if anyone find out. My dad would kick me out straight away.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
If anyone found out, my dad would kick me out straight away. That just like leads us into this conversation of shame, right? And who should be shameful in this situation? And again, my problem with that part of this is how many people on social media are just attacking her or calling the men victims in this. Like, that is so stupid to me. Like, as the man in this situation, if you did not want to be a part of this, you didn't have to be. Leading up to the day of, she had so many people cancel. She's the one that committed to letting 100 strangers possibly infect her with something. That sucks. And that's stupid too. She should have done it in a much safer way. Again, I don't think inherently wanting to sleep with 100 people is wrong. I think it should have been done in a much safer way. But being one of these 100 men who then probably go back to their houses and like at her on Twitter and go, I can't believe you did that. I can't imagine being one of these guys. And I don't know why. Some of them I get. Some of them like genuinely don't care about the amount of people that go before them or after them. Some of them just want to do it because they think the experience is going to be fun. Cool. Not my business. But so many of these men are like, oh, I have a chance to sleep with this person that I've been stalking online. Oh, I'm a virgin and this is the only way I'll have sex. And that's just kind of weird. It's just weird. It just is.
Hey, sorry, we've got so many people here right now. It's absolute mayhem. I've had like 100 cigarettes. I'm chain smoking through this. I feel like this is going to go on a lot later than we planned. We planned it to end at like 7, but I think it's going to run until like 9, 10 p.m. maybe.
Currently 7 p.m. About, I'd say, I think about 70 people through.
After hours of waiting, we tried to get back into the Airbnb. We ended up being delayed by one of her assistant's boyfriends, a close-up magician who had been performing for men in the waiting room.
That is cool as shit.
That's actually really funny to me. Like, imagine a magician in the middle of the waiting room lined up to have sex with Lily Phillips. And he's like, Is this your card? They're like, no. They're like, all right. Well, the real magic trick is I just got it up for you. You're welcome. The only magic trick I can do is where I go, oh, where'd my chapstick go? Oh, no. And I go, oh, you, come here. Wow. Oh, what's that behind your ear? Oh, it's my chapstick. Thank you. Then I make it disappear. Get it? I dropped it. Which is how I actually do make my chapsticks disappear all the time. I lose them all the time. Recording that trick, by the way, I lost the chapstick. Definitely fell behind my desk, but there's a reason I have 4 now. 3 now, I guess. Somebody made a comment that Toast doesn't add anything to my videos and they had the little subscriber badge. So if you're subscribed and you're watching this, unsubscribe. Look at her. Look at her. She's the whole video. Look at baby. How you gonna be mad about Toast?
Lily's PA gave us some more updates and promised us that they were nearly finished. How far off is she from finishing?
Not far off at all. We're nearly done. We've got a few people who have like gone home and then they've called us and like, can my friend come? I've just told him how sick it was. And we're like, yeah, bring it. Like, send your friend over. Well, no, it's been great for like networking. Like even like guys have been speaking. They're like, oh yeah, I do this for a living, saying their jobs. Oh, we need someone that does that. And we're like, yeah, message us back tomorrow.
Yo, I pound women for a living. Oh, we need someone that does that. Yeah, come over. My husband would love to watch. It's just wild. So how'd you two meet? Oh, so he was in the middle of plowing one of my best friends. And I was like, you know what? You have really rough hands. Do you do carpentry work? And then Jesus looks up and go, I do actually. That's right. Jesus was one of them. And that's how we found our carpenter.
It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. But I was like, I should not be an event planner. I should not. I actually can't believe we were going to do this without security. They've been
so helpful.
Absolutely amazing. Like, I could kiss them both. They've been so good.
It's definitely the busy time of the night. That door is turning into more of a revolving door. There are guys coming in and out of there constantly. They've sent out security guards and things to go get her snacks and electrolytes and just to keep her sort of functioning.
Then, finally, the feat was complete and we were invited inside.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
Did you complete?
We're done.
Oh, yeah.
Lily's just in the shower now.
As the sort of brains behind this and managing the whole thing, how did you think it went?
Planning wise, a bit hectic.
For sure.
I didn't know what to expect. So many guys left it really last minute and we were getting messages today like, can I still do it?
Yeah.
But we had so many people drop out.
Yeah.
So when I was like going through like, yes, can you make it to London today? And a lot of them were like, yeah, that's fine. We were just like scrambling to get guys. So I was outside having a smoke with them all. We were just all talking and getting along. And then we come back in here and they've got the music on vibe and it was really nice. There were a couple of guys that Joe messaged me like, oh, I didn't really perform well. Can I come back? And we've been like, yeah, that's fine. And they've just like come back.
Oh, really?
Redeemed themselves.
Does that count? Like if you have 80 men and a couple of them happen to come back twice, does that count as 100 total?
Has it been like that nervous?
How do you think Lily found it?
I think, do you know, I've not had the chance to speak to her too much. She's been in there all day, and we've just like chucked her in the shower and like, she's exhausted. She's like, the first thing she said was like, I need a Nando's. I was like,
you've earned a Nando's.
Yeah, you've got the Nando's is ordered. She's took it like a champ. She's done so well. Every time I've said, are you okay? Do you need a breather? She's like, no, bring the next guy in. Seeing
100 guys come to have sex with Lily in one day, was that like something that obviously...
That part didn't feel too intense.
Prime Mike Tyson couldn't take this.
It was more checking in on Lily felt intense.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
hi.
Hello. How are you?
Lily offered to show me the aftermath of their stunt.
Oh, it stinks.
What does it smell like?
Like brace yourself. Brace yourself.
Oh, holy shit.
I guess it. You actually can. Is that real?
Yeah, he's not good with smells.
Lily then walked us through the process that she had repeated 100 times that day.
Come on in, make yourself at home, take your shoes off. I've got some hangers here if you want to put your coat up.
Nice.
Come on in, where you travel from today? Oh, lovely. Yeah, oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'll get you on the bed, make yourself comfortable, take off your trousers, and we're going to have a fun time. And then I'll give them the phone camera. I'll just say, I'm guessing you don't want your face in it.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it'll be POV phone camera.
Yeah.
I'll start usually with a and then I'd say like, is there anything you like, don't like, any certain position you want to do?
Yeah.
And then we kind of got straight into it.
Did you do the with a condom on or?
No, I didn't. Condom off.
Okay, but then like once they're having sex and it's like condom on type thing.
Yeah.
It does smell a lot like sex. I mean, and there's rose. That's nice. Did one of the guys?
Rose.
And how are you feeling?
Surprisingly, downstairs is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired. My eyes sting like nothing else.
Why?
Because of all the cum in it. I think I repeatedly said, you can come on my face, but not in my eye.
And they just went right at the eyes.
Well, I think like it might have been an accident. But no, I mean, I've definitely seen some spunk today, Jesus. And it just took definitely a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I think it was when it was only like 40 and I was like, I'm not even halfway yet.
Yeah.
And 40 is still a lot of people. Like, imagine 40 people and be like, I'm not even halfway, like, done.
When was the last time you ate?
I had I think I had a yam yam. Yam yam, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And I think I had a sandwich and that was and then the rest come. It's not for the weak girls, if I'm honest. It was hard.
I don't think it's for anyone. I think that might be a little much for anyone.
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
It's not like just having sex with someone.
yeah, just one in, one out. Like, it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry. Okay. It's okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
So that's kind of the first part where people are like, oh, she regrets it. Oh, she feels bad. Oh, but we don't know. We don't know. There are so many different reasons people cry after sex. So many. Could she be feeling degraded? Absolutely. Could she be just in like a cathartic state where she's like, wow, I can't believe I did this? Yeah, absolutely. Could it be just like an emotional release that a lot of people experience after sex? Yes. It could be a lot of different things. And I have thoughts, I have ideas, I do, but I don't think it makes sense for me to pretend I know what she's feeling. Could it be regret? Yeah, it absolutely could be. Do I think it is? No. Do a lot of people think it is? Yeah. Do I think they're wrong? No. Do I think they should have kept it to themselves? Yes. Because I don't think we know.
I think I was you know, when I talked to you last, like, I was not nervous. It was like the day before, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. But it was good. It was more, I guess the interactions when, like, I'd have to stop them early and, like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And, like, the awkward interaction of, like, you feeling pressure to have to make them come if, like, you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like you didn't give them a good time because, like, they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like...
I'm so glad I'm not a people pleaser because that just looks so rough.
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Like, kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I felt bad, like, some people just travel so far. Like, I didn't want to give them a shit time and, like, come away from this and be like, oh, that was shit. I think sometimes, like, feeling so, like, robotic, like, by the 30th, you know, like, when we're getting on a bit, I've got, like, a routine of, like, how we're going to do this. And, like, it just, sometimes you'd, like, disassociate and be like, you know, like, it's not, like, normal sex at all. In my head right now, I can think of, like, 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember. And that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know? But yeah. I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like, we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And
did they only have 2 minutes because they finished early? I feel like that's on them. I feel like it should have been like, you have up to 5 minutes to finish. If you finish early, get out. If you don't finish at 5 minutes, get out. But also, like, in that situation, like, there are so many of us who have such a hard time just like talking to cashiers. How are you going to tell 100 strangers no? That's such a hard thing to do. And that's such a vulnerable time to do it too. That sucks. There's no way that that's not something they figure out how to fix for the 1,000 people video. Also, she's doing 1,000 people. I think it's either this month or next month.
Obviously, it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like, when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all. I'd thought perhaps in years to come she may look back at this day in sadness, but not so instantly afterwards. She had stressed to me throughout my time with her how excited she was for this challenge and how this was her fantasy, so to see her so visibly upset at the end of it all was really sad. But my confusion was only added to in the days following our filming with Lily, as she announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm-up, because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
Maybe what we witnessed that night was just someone overwhelmed with emotion after completing such a monumental challenge. Or maybe we saw the true toll this career can have on a person.
The situation as a whole is just nuts. To put 1,000 men into perspective, that would be 1,000 men in 24 hours, which would be a little over 41 an hour. So 42 people an hour, which is a lot of people, assuming she goes 24 hours, right? No sleep, no real breaks if you're doing 42 people an hour. And if you feel so bad about not being able to make people finish in 5 minutes, now you have less than 2, and that just sucks. Plus, like, transition time, you probably have a minute per person. There's no way for that to go well psychologically, and I just hope she makes it out of there okay. Again, my biggest issue is just the fact that it cannot be safe. I cannot trust 100 people not to have an STD, let alone 1,000, especially when the ones that you got tested were not just the ones that showed up. There are plenty of people who showed up late, signed up late, or hey, I just told my friend about this. Can they come? And her manager said yes. And Lily probably agreed to that, but she doesn't know. She is in the bedroom, assuming that all the people rotating through are people that were already approved. There are so many people in this world who are going to take what they do and try and take it to an extreme. No matter what that is. I don't think Lily doing something this extreme is going to make people stop subscribing to other people's OnlyFans. I don't think that's a real threat. And if you're a creator who feels threatened by what she's doing because it's just too much, I think you're going to be okay. If you're a normal person watching this video with like a normal amount of hesitation, fear, worry for her, that's all we can do. All we can do is watch and hope that she's okay at the end of it. Hope that she doesn't catch anything, hope that she doesn't spread anything, and hope that her team does their best job to keep her safe. If you are someone who is going to criticize her for monetizing your body because that's who you are, that's gross. I don't know how you got here. Like, I don't know how you enjoy any of what I say if that's the kind of person that you are. I do think this is a very dangerous thing to do because of the fact that there's no way that she can get this many people tested and for those tests to all come back negative. That's it. Besides that, I don't have a problem with the amount of people that you sleep with or who you're sleeping with as long as you're both consenting adults. I would think it was weird if an 80-year-old tried sleeping with her, but that's an entirely different problem. I've had this video on my list for a month and I've watched it myself alone 3 times, now 4. And each time I've come away with fewer and fewer thoughts because each time I watch it, I just have a growing concern for her and I just hope that she's fine mentally, physically. She seems like she wants to do it and I'm going to believe her. But that doesn't stop me from worrying about her getting sick, from her catching something she doesn't want to catch. Like, I made fun of Lauren for having gonorrhea. What if she also gets gonorrhea? What if Lauren was one of the 100 men? Speaking of the 100 men, I don't get it. I don't get it. For the people who are like, this is just a cool experience, whatever. But for the people who are virgins, or for the people who, or for the guy who said his family would disown him, his dad would kick him out, why? I'm a big believer that, and if you can't show your face doing something, you probably shouldn't do it. You should stand behind your words and your actions. And if 100 men, specifically those 100 men, could come on and be like, doing this strictly for fun, doing this because I want to, doing this out of enjoyment, don't care what other people think, great. But to be so shameful in your actions makes me feel like you're probably one of the people shaming other people for this situation. I guarantee you a good amount of those men, a good amount of people who went and slept with Lily Phillips were men who criticize her on Twitter, who call her a whore on Twitter, who say that people who do what she does don't have real jobs. And that's such a big problem. Men, specifically these men, who are going to sit here and criticize women for what they do with their bodies just because they wish it could be them. Oh, I would never sell my nudes. I would never do porn. I would never. Then why are you so obsessed with the people who do it? Chill. Go live your own life and live it well enough to not criticize people for living their lives safely. Again, this video is not meant to be a criticism of Lily. There were so many videos I found watching this that did just that. Even from other women who are just like, oh, Lily Phillips, why would you do this? And I just like, I don't get it. Like, I really do think she should have been a lot safer. But 100 men, and by the looks of it, thousands, signed up for this. Like, you went through the process of signing up, getting screened, buying a plane ticket, flying, finding a place to stay, flying back, and then hiding it for something that you're ashamed of? I'm going to leave it there. If you got to the end of this video, you're probably not someone who's going to criticize Lily anyway, but a quick reminder, do not call a woman a whore. Do not call any women whores in my comment section. That's not what this is. You want to criticize the men for being a bunch of random dudes who decided to, I'm not going to say take advantage, because I don't think that's what this was. But weird that you saw this and signed up for it. Anyway, like the video if you got this far, subscribe, say bye to toast. I'm going to go edit this and then think about all the terrible things I've said and done. And I'm going to sign up for the 1,000 men one. No, I'm not. Like, that would be so much work. Also, just not my thing. I don't think I'd be able to get it up unless you had a magician sitting with me going Leviantes. I think that's what it is. I never watched Harry Potter. Not my thing. I don't think I'm Mexican. I don't think Mexicans watched Harry Potter.